Hey, my name is Sarah, and today I want to do a tarot reading for all of you, Aries to Pisces. So, I tried to record like 8 videos on TikTok and it's not working. My point is have any of you struggled with this? Like, I think this is overloading the system, all this AI shit. Anyways, things been slower than normal. Okay, let's go to Aries. Boom. I'm gonna pull 2 cards for each sign. So let's go. So anyways, right now, everybody, there's a lot of Aries energy in the sky, obviously including the sun. And Mars as well. And Saturn, I think. Yeah. My point is that with everything going on in the world right now, that's completely Aries, you know what I'm saying? It's 9, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of room here. I'm on my bed. Okay, thanks. So, Aries. We have the Magician and the 3 of Swords. You manifested a heartbreak. Possibly. It doesn't have to be love. And I feel that you're thinking so negatively. It just reminds me of a person who accuses others of cheating, and they manifest their own thoughts, even if they're the ones cheating, but it doesn't matter. The 3 of heart in its heartbreak, however, is in reverse. So a card like this, which is Saturn Libra, which is a restriction of care and love in a way. But Libra is fair. So you may have experienced such heartbreak, like I said, but you're going to come up with a way to try to, I can't think of the word, complicate things. Whatever. I feel that you can get through this because you're going to use your mind for good, and you're not going to use it against yourself. Taurus. Oh, I pulled 3 cards. So we have the 3 of Pentacles, nice, the High Priestess, and the King of Pentacles. Good. This is what I would call is a money and health reading, or even an emotional reading, but the 3 of Pentacles is yourself working with another, or 3 people. But you know the 3 thing. 3's a charm, and then strike out, right? So you never know. So anyways, you can be collaborating with individuals, but you must use your intuition at the High Priestess to understand if these people have good intentions for you, if they're just trying to use you for money, the King of Pentacles. So you need to step up and take charge of whatever's going on in the realm of, like I said, partnership with even a wife, a marital partner, and possibly you might not be experiencing the best time with them. Okay, Gemini, we have the Queen of Cups and the 5 of Swords. This is an intellectual battle, a psychological warfare, Gemini. Something's going on here. You have maybe a grudge against somebody, and the 5 of Swords indicates strife. With swords, it's words, that cut through. And so you're going to say some things that you don't mean, and you have to gain control of that with the Queen of Cups, to use empathy and say, you know what, I know that I really want to get my thoughts out, and I really want to explain to people how I'm feeling, but I also have to understand how they are feeling. Okay, Cancer. We have the Fool, Injustice, in reverse. This is interesting. Sorry about the cigarette. I don't know. I'm just weird. I know it's not cool. Okay, so the Fool and the Justice in reverse. A new beginning. A new fascination, an imagination of something new and clear and bright. It's possibly fallen through the cracks, meaning that yes, you want to do it, but there is something holding you back. Yeah, sorry. And that is your sense of morale, or lack of it. I know it sounds weird, but there's something holding you back from taking a leap of faith. I don't know what that means, actually, but I kind of don't. I see Libra and I see Mars. So I see a person who is taking action with out showing emotions. I've seen a lot of swords in these decks, so a lot of people are very logical right now. Logical, meaning that they're seeing through the cracks of the government, whatever, just people in general. Anyways, Cancer. Excuse me, no, I didn't say Cancer. Leo. Okay, again, we have reverse. We have the 8 of Wands, and we have the 2 of... the 9 of Cups. Okay, nice. So, the 8 of Wands is Mercury Sagittarius. It's usually quick language. It's a quick message. It could be aggressive, and you receive that message, and you are angry, or pissed, you're heartbroken, or whatever. But, like I said, it's in reverse. So, backwards, you may have received a message that was comfortable to hear. You know what I mean? Oh, so my battery is running low. What is it at? 9. Okay, that's not right. Sorry. So we have 9 of Cups, which is a person who feels comfortable. It could indicate somebody who's drinking too much. It can indicate an individual who is getting high or making statements that they don't mean to make. Leo. And I feel that this could be happening to you, or you could be doing it. But you may be experiencing some hostile activity from an individual who doesn't appreciate your escapism or your ego when it comes to what you own. Okay, that's Leo. Now, Virgo, we have the Emperor. Ooh, and the 6 of Swords. In reverse. So, here we are with the Aries energy again. And I'm doing a reading for Virgo. You might be arrogant, okay? You might be tyrannical. You're a leader. You're a father. You're a figure of practical common sense. However, there's going to be some type of fall. See, the 6 of Wands regularly is trials, tribulations, beaten. It means that the person is getting accolades for their behavior. That's why the guy's riding on a horse. He's like, hi, everybody, I'm great. But the point is, guys, Virgo, there may be something going on in your life right now that makes you feel insignificant. So you may be overcompensating with anger or aggressive behavior, and or engaging in substances. Never mind. Okay, next we have Libra. Okay, the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups. Let me think about this. So we have an interesting setup here, Libra. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse and the King of Cups again. We got that in, I think, Taurus or Gemini, whatever. And so to me, these are court cards. The Knight rushes in quickly. Knight of Wands, right? They have something to say. They have a message to deliver. Action is what they do. It's a fire sign, so it's often impulsive and possibly like, hey, what are you doing, man? Like, what? It's in reverse, though, meaning that may not happen. It means that the person may want to do that. They may have impulses to come in and rush in and save the day or whatever. But something tells them, and that something is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups says, think about this. How are you going to affect this individual if you rush in and just say a bunch of impulsive words? Do you think that it's going to help them or hurt them. Okay. Now we have Scorpio. Ah, wow. Okay, bondage and anxiety, the devil and the Nine of Swords. Okay. Someone is being held in captivity, meaning they cannot be themselves. Scorpio, control. But Capricorn rules over the devil. And the Nine of Swords, I believe, is, I forgot. The Nine of Swords is always related to anxiety, overthinking, making it, whoops, I mean, what do I do, man? Whoa! And you're freaking out. But then you have the devil here who says, wait a minute. I got something for you. You can control another person. You can take drugs. You can... Basically, look, it's control. Control. Straight up control and bondage. Scorpio, I don't know if this is happening to you, or if you may be doing it, but you feel maybe possibly either insolent and or impotent, meaning powerless. So when a person feels powerless, most of the time they try to get powerful, you know? Sagittarius. Ace of Wands and Three of Cups in reverse. So, once again, like the other cards, we got the, an ace, new beginnings. So, sorry, I'm nervous. I have a lot of anxiety myself. But, yeah, so anyways, we have Ace of Wands, like I said, it could be a new creative project. Something that you, once again, want to possibly collaborate with somebody on it, but that person is passive-aggressive. They'll say to you, oh, yeah, that sounds great, I'll do it. But they never follow through, you know, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So you start wondering, am I good enough? Why don't they want to work with me? You know, and it's weird. But I don't know why I'm getting that message. Okay, so now we have Capricorn. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. What the hell is this? The Nine of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. There's a weird noise. Ugh. The way I would interpret this, excuse me, is that an individual is leaving something behind in the past. They're like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore. It's hurting my mental health. It's making me a person I'm not. I have to leave. And we have the Nine of Wands, which usually indicates a person who is very guarded, someone who has gotten hurt in the past and doesn't want to look weak. So, but in reverse, to me that indicates that the person is trying to trust. The person is, and what I mean by the person, Capricorn, it could be you, but usually another individual, but so I see if someone who wants to leave the past is letting down their guard, and then they're waiting. The Seven of Pentacles. They're waiting, and they're working hard, and they're going to make what they want, their own reality, true. And they're not going to think, well, I can't trust anybody. Because that's not true. I hear so many people tell me, oh, I can't trust nobody. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just have to find the right people. Okay, now I didn't have enough room to do Aquarius and Pisces, but here we go. Aquarius, we have, again, it's Three of Wands and the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, once again, we're dealing with a fire situation. So, Aquarius, you're an air sign, and fire and air go well together, and this may fan the flames of your creativity. You know, fire signs are all about expression. Sorry, I have a hair in my... Gross. Yeah, so Three of Wands, like I said, is a person surveying what could be. Someone who is looking at the possibilities. And they have the world in their hand. He's holding a globe. And he's looking out at what can be. But in reverse, that person has those feelings. But they feel somehow stunted. Now, the Four of Wands is usually a card of family, security. Wands are built on four sides, so it's stable, but it's not. This here is what I think is like a family or close people, possibly giving you negative or worrisome thoughts about your creation. The tools of discouragement. You might be like, oh yeah, I want to do this, and like, no, it's not going to work. You know that, and blah, blah, blah. This is gaslighting. Okay, Pisces. Ooh, nice. We have Death, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So now, as you know, most astrologers will tell you, or whatever, the Death is not a bad card. It's a card of transformation, da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, but when you're pairing it with a Knight of Pentacles, you may be receiving possibly a news of a health disorder that you weren't aware of. Something unexpected, something you never saw coming. Okay, and yeah, did I finish it all? Was that Pisces? Okay, this is the cards for what is going on today in the world, and this is what I see. Five of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Moon. Secrets. Destruction. And feeling abandoned. Okay? And right now, I think we all feel that. You know? I feel that. I feel abandoned by the GOVT. And I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And we have the Tower, which I believe is ruled by Mars, or Uranus? No, it's Mars. And Mars has to do with Aries. And right now we're in Aries season. So if you know anything about what's going on in another country with our president, then you know what I mean. And why I'm speaking so vaguely is because it appears like they're not letting people talk about this. Okay, the Moon. Like I said, secrets. Things you cannot see. Things you don't know. Think about it. They said something about, oh, we're going to go around the moon and whatever. No. Nobody believes this shit. What was it, 1962? The first moon broadcast? Come on. Nobody believed that, you know, not for a second. It's all Hollywood. But anyways, that's my tarot reading for today, and if I didn't do Pisces, nice. Okay, Four of Cups, so it's in reverse. And what that means is that you are unsatisfied in your life, in the realm of there's too many opportunities, too many options. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, what do I do here? Do I fall into temptation? Or do I just remain this dissonant, depressed individual that doesn't exactly know how to handle the future or reality? So all of these choices in front of them is boggling and overloading your sensory perception. Alright, thanks guys for listening if you did, and I love you.